Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to another episode of China Update, where I provide you with the most up-to-date political, economic, and geostrategic analysis on the world's #2 economy. My name is Tony. Let's jump in. And first up, IShowSpeed, a YouTube sensation with over 37 million followers, captivated audiences during his live streaming tour of China this week. His high-energy persona, known in China as hyperthyroidist, due to his expressive mannerisms, has drawn significant attention across both Chinese and Western social media platforms. His enthusiastic portrayal of Shanghai and Beijing have been met with praise, with Chinese commentators saying it reinforces China's image as a modern and technologically advanced nation. Speed's visit aligns with China's broader efforts to boost tourism through visa waivers, providing favorable publicity at a time when the country seeks to reshape its global image. His recent test drive of a Xiaomi SU7 Ultra, a 1,526 horsepower electric vehicle priced at $70,000, went viral, with fans likening it to a scene from Fast and Furious. While speculation has arisen that the Chinese government may have financially supported his visit, Speed's management has firmly denied any such involvement, asserting that he is in China at his own expense. IShowSpeed is not the only Western influencer fueling China's soft power push. A growing number of travel vloggers are showcasing their experiences in China, drawing millions of views on platforms like YouTube and Instagram. Their content, often highlighting high-speed trains, vibrant cityscapes, and cultural sites, is widely shared on Chinese social media, reinforcing a positive image of the country. State-run Global Times has celebrated this trend, arguing that foreign travelers are providing a counter-narrative to negative Western media portrayals in China. Many influencers, whether intentionally or not, align with this perspective, producing content with titles such as "The Media Lied About China" and "We Show the Truth." However, while their content offers an alternative viewpoint, critics argue that these portrayals often omit political and human rights concerns. Of course, a travel vlogger would likely push back, saying that such content is outside the scope of a travel vlog. There is also the awkward irony that many of these influencers, myself included, are discussing China on a platform, YouTube for example, which is blocked in China. However, not all influencers make this point clear to their audience, arguing on the one hand that China is very free, while illegally using a VPN, something that could cause a local Chinese to be arrested. Despite their largely positive portrayals, some influencers have encountered China's tightly controlled environment firsthand. Spanish cyclist Sarah Teo documented instances of police surveillance and difficulties in booking accommodations in the sensitive western region of Xinjiang. Similarly, Australian blogger Josie Lifts Things, who visited Tibet on a state-sponsored tour, observed the heavy security presence despite the region's picturesque landscapes. While foreign influences contribute to China's global image, their experiences highlight the difficulties and complexities in presenting an authentic and balanced narrative. As China welcomes more content creators, its ability to control its international reputation may become increasingly difficult to manage. Next up, Hong Kong's stock market has outpaced global peers in 2025, prompting major investment banks to review their outlooks on Chinese equities. The rally, driven by an expected earnings rebound, improved policy signals, and growing domestic investor confidence, has reshaped sentiment towards China's markets. Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan have both upgraded their forecasts for key Chinese indexes. Morgan Stanley lifted its year-long Hang Seng Index target to 25,800, up from 24,000, marking its second revision in a month. The bank also raised its MSCI China Index forecast from 77 to 83. Similarly, JP Morgan increased its MSCI China Index from 67 to 80, citing a 5% earnings upgrade for Chinese firms in 2024 and 2025. The firm pointed to a fourth quarter earnings turnaround after 13 straight quarters of underperformance, with 8% of companies surpassing expectations. Chinese financial media outlet Yitai this week writes that Beijing's shift from regulatory rectification to revitalization has played a crucial role in restoring market confidence. Leader Xi Jinping's meeting with private entrepreneurs in February signaled stronger government support for the private sector. The surge in Chinese AI stocks, led by DeepSeek's breakthrough in early 2025, has fueled momentum too. While China's AI leadership remains a key investment theme despite chip constraints, there is also the fact that after 2 years of stock collapse, these equities are rising from a very low base. Indeed, China's stock market is still down from its 2021 high. Despite challenges such as regulatory uncertainties and property sector risks, analysts suggest China's rally is entering a sustainable phase. Quote, "Markets don't move in straight lines," end quote, noted investment strategist Mark Mobius, emphasizing that improved policy clarity and investor confidence could sustain the upward trajectory. As of the 27th of March, the Hang Seng Index had gained 17.5% year to date, while the MSCI China Index rose 16%. Meanwhile, Chinese financial regulators have begun allowing select companies to proceed with mainland initial public offerings, IPOs, signaling a potential revival in equity listings after a period of significant decline. The shift suggests a renewed government strategy to bolster market confidence and encourage capital inflows into China's economy. According to investors and advisors familiar with the process, speaking to Chinese financial media outlet Caixin, companies in the technology, advanced manufacturing, and consumer sectors have been given the green light in recent weeks to begin filling IPO paperwork. The decision follows a cautious approach from regulators who previously sought to prevent new listings from further pressuring a market that had been in a prolonged downturn until late last year. The value of mainland IPOs plummeted by an incredible 80% in 2024, with only 96 companies going public, a stark drop from the previous year. Investor sentiment had weakened due to declining share prices and foreign capital outflows. Of course, we covered this at the time. Regulators are particularly interested in listing firms from new productive industries, as regulators call them, such as technology and high-end manufacturing. Some consumer-focused companies previously sidelined are also now being considered if they hold strong market positions and meet financial thresholds. The easing of IPO regulations reflect Beijing's broader economic strategy, stimulating consumption and strengthening domestic capital markets amid escalating trade tensions with the United States, as well as structural problems at home. With mainland stock indices showing signs of recovery, Beijing appears to be confident in supporting new IPOs, potentially setting the stage for a renewed listings surge in 2025. Now, if you're enjoying this weekend episode of China Update, don't forget to hit the like button. Sharing, liking, and subscribing is all a big help. And if you'd like to help keep China Update financially sustainable, Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee links are in the description below. Thank you so much. Next up, and finally for today, more than 1,500 people gathered in Taiwan's southern city of Tainan on Thursday for a large-scale civilian disaster response drill, marking the first live exercise of its kind under President William Lai Ching-te's so-called whole-of-society resilience strategy. The drill, aimed at asserting civil society's ability to manage crises without direct military intervention, comes as tensions with mainland China continue to escalate. Participants included local and central government officials, volunteer firefighters, police officers, and about 500 civilians. The scenario simulated a catastrophic sequence of disasters: a massive explosion at the port of Anqiang, followed by an 8.0 magnitude earthquake in the Manila Trench, and a tsunami threatening southern Taiwan. Although the military provided medical aid and logistical support, it was otherwise absent to test the resilience of local emergency responders and civilians. President Lai, who attended alongside the vice president, praised the authenticity of the exercise. Quote, "I saw a wife really crying and she responded to the police. I saw doctors seriously treating patients. I saw massive strength coming from civilians," end quote, he said. The drill also had international significance, drawing observers from 13 nations, including Japan, Finland, and Israel. Raymond Green, director of the American Institute in Taiwan, the de facto U.S. embassy, was among the foreign diplomats monitoring the exercise. The drill follows Taiwan's recent, quote, "immediate combat readiness," end quote, military exercise, which simulated an unexpected Chinese attack. It also coincides with the upcoming Hankwang military drills, which for the first time explicitly mentioned 2027 as a possible year for a Chinese invasion. Lai's recent remarks labeling China as, quote, "foreign hostile force," end quote, have further escalated tensions. prompting Beijing to launch new military exercises near Taiwan. On the morning of the drill, a Taiwanese Navy vessel collided with a Chinese fishing boat, though no injuries were reported. Meanwhile, Taiwan's defense ministry tracked 28 Chinese military aircraft and drones, 20 of which crossed the median line into Taiwan's airspace in a coordinated military operation with Chinese naval forces. Local experts have stressed the importance of civil defense preparedness. Ian Chan-Sang-Yen of the National Sun Yat-sen University, for example, expressed this week, quote, "China's harassment via air and sea is getting worse. If conflict breaks out, our military won't have the capacity to conduct rescue missions. It will rely on civil defense capabilities." End quote. Since taking office in May of 2024, Lai has prioritized strengthening Taiwan's resilience. His Whole-of-Society Defense Resilience Committee brings together government agencies, civil society groups, and private sector stakeholders to prepare for national disasters and potential military conflicts. Unlike previous scripted drills, Thursday's exercise required participants to react in real time, reinforcing the need for adaptability. Speaking to media at one of the events, the president expressed, quote, "We cannot afford not to prepare, given current geopolitics." End quote. Okay, that is today's episode of China Update. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Have a good Saturday, have a restful weekend, and I will see you all tomorrow.